The president and his son are vowing to take legal action as the final ballots are counted.
Yeah, that's right, Gabriella. Good afternoon to you. So, all along, the great issue for the president has been these postal votes, which means that they are likely to come after Election Day, which is exactly what's happened. Remembering that 100 million Americans cast their votes before the election. It was a record. So he wanted the votes that arrived on November 3 to be the only ones that were counted. And so he has threatened legal action in various forms. He's threatened action in Wisconsin, Michigan, in Pennsylvania and Georgia. Some of those cases have been thrown out, but some of them still persist. And now he's threatening more. This is part of the president's statement at the White House about an hour ago.
And we think we will win the election very easily. We think there's going to be a lot of litigation because we have so much evidence, so much proof, and it's going to end up perhaps at the highest court in the land. We'll see. But we think there'll be a lot of litigation because we can't have an election stolen like this. And I tell you, I have been talking about this for many months with all of you, and I've said very strongly that mail-in ballots are going to end up being a disaster. As everyone now recognizes, media polling was election interference in the truest sense of that word by powerful special interests. These really phony polls, I have to call them phony polls, fake polls, were designed to keep our voters at home, create the illusion of momentum for Mr. Biden, and diminish Republicans' ability to raise funds. They were what's called suppression polls. Everyone knows that now. And it's never been used to the extent that it's been used on this last election. There are now only a few states yet to be decided in the presidential race. The voting apparatus of those states are run in all cases by Democrats. We were winning in all the key locations by a lot, actually. And then our numbers started miraculously getting whittled away in secret. And they wouldn't allow legally permissible observers. We went to court in a couple of instances, and we were able to get the observers put in.
Yeah, obviously those numbers being whittled away because of the postal votes that were coming in and continue to come in. So very much a scorched earth policy approach from the president tonight. His son, Donald Trump Jr., has also been very vocal. Earlier in the day, he had tweeted that he believed that his father should take a civil war approach in terms of calling out alleged corruption, cheating and voter fraud when it came to this election. And this evening, in the state of Georgia, he doubled down.
This cannot be a one-sided system. This cannot be democracy only when we win. That doesn't work that way. We've been seeing it for far too long, and I think, like many things, Donald Trump is going to be the guy to open the door to get the transparency that America wants and that America and our democracy deserves.
Now, watching all of this unfold in his home state of Delaware is the Democratic contender, Joe Biden. His campaign is feeling very good about things. They're feeling very comfortable watching this count come in, and with good reason too. So first of all, you've got the state of Nevada, which is his easiest path to get to 270 votes in the Electoral College. He's currently at 264. He only needs 6. The 6 votes can come from Nevada. However, it's taking a little bit of time there because they want to get things right. And the race is even narrowing even further in states like Georgia, where there's probably only about 3,500 votes now in it. That's how far Joe Biden is behind Donald Trump when it comes to the overall vote in Georgia. And then in the key state of Pennsylvania, which has 20 votes in the Electoral College up for grabs, he's only about 50,000 votes now behind. And there's still a few 100,000 left to count. So it's quite possible that Joe Biden will not just get Nevada, he could also get Georgia, he could also get Pennsylvania on top of all of that. Now, that's not to say it's going to happen, but at the moment, it looks like that's going to happen, going by current trends. So here is Joe Biden speaking a couple of hours ago.
We continue to feel, Senator and I, we continue to feel very good about where things stand. We have no doubt that when the count is finished, Senator Harris and I will be declared the winners. So I ask everyone to stay calm, all the people to stay calm. The process is working. The count is being completed, and we'll know very soon. So thank you all for your patience, but we have to count the votes.
Now, more and more, in the past half hour to 40 minutes, we're seeing more senior Republicans move against the president in terms of his position tonight. So first of all, you've got Mitt Romney, very senior Republican, well known too. He says counting every vote is at the heart of democracy. That process is often long and, for those running, frustrating. The votes will be counted, and if there are irregularities alleged, they will be investigated and ultimately resolved in the courts. Have faith in democracy, in our Constitution and in the American people. Larry Hogan, who's also a Republican governor in the state of Maryland, he says there is no defence for the president's comments tonight, undermining our democratic process. Rick Santorum, also a senior Republican, this is part of what he had to say tonight.
There may be fraud. There may be all that. We don't know that right now. And for the president to go out there and claim that without any evidence of that is dangerous. To go out there and suggest that this is rigged, or that counting votes in my home state by clerks all over 67 counties, and as you kept losing votes, was somehow rigged. No, Democrats voted by mail. That's why your lead went away. Had they voted in person, you would be in the same position we are right now. So it's just it's very disappointing.
Well, I think
and shocking at times to hear the president say the things that he said.
So just to recap, Gabriella, it's looking like it might be a little while before things become official over in Nevada, because they are taking their time. So it's quite possible that we may see a result when it comes to Georgia and Pennsylvania tomorrow. The Secretary of State of Pennsylvania says it's very close. There's still a few 100,000 more votes to count, but she is hoping that there may well be some final result tomorrow when it comes to Pennsylvania. And of course, this is something that the president needs to hold. If he doesn't hold Pennsylvania and Joe Biden grabs it, it's game over.
Incredible. Only 3,500 votes left to count in Georgia, and we're all anxiously waiting for Nevada to finish counting their votes. And this certainly isn't over yet. Peter Stefanovic live in Washington, D.C. Thanks so much for the update.